A man without a plan for his future always returns to his past. Until you find your purpose, you will continue to fall back to who you were yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. I've been addicted to practically everything you can think of. Corn, drugs, alcohol, women, nicotine, all of it. And the second I decided that from this point forward, I was not going to be that man anymore because I'm going to be born again in Christ, was the second they all fell away. Because it was a conscious decision that I was going to become somebody better. I was going to become somebody, who wasn't going to go back to that same person. Because what you have to realize is that person is no longer alive anymore. That's what Christ talks about when he says, you must be born again. Which is also really interesting because I was talking with my friends about how he often changed people's names when he called them. Like Paul and Saul. He changed his name once he made him new. He was no longer Saul. He was no longer the past person. He became somebody new. So if you feel lost in life, if you feel like you do not know what to do next, that is your problem. See, it's not enough to say you want to be happy, or you want to be rich, or you want to be famous, or you want to feel love. You see, those are all great, categories, but we got to sub-categorize that. And to explain this a little further, let's take us to the beautiful whiteboard. Let's get us into the illustrations. Because all of you guys, we're going to make you guys pink too. All right. All of you guys are this pink marker. You're right here. And if you do not know what you want in the future, if you do not know where you want to go, it's just black around you. Everything in your life is black. You do not know what to do, and you're trapped in this ginormous circle that says, I'm never going to be bigger than this. But the second you figure out what you want for the future, so you don't return back to this circle anymore, you now venture out, is the second you start to change. So I was this pink little circle in my life. And I was addicted to all the drugs and the alcohol and the corn and the nicotine and the gambling, all of it. I was trapped in that little circle. But the second I said, I'm going to find God, you begin to leave the circle because you have a place to go. A metaphor that's often used is, imagine you are a captain on a ship and you're dropped in the middle of the ocean. How do you know where to get anywhere without a map? You're dropped in the middle of the ocean. How do you know how to get anywhere unless you have a map, unless you have the compass, unless you have a destination that you need to get to? So if you feel lost in life, if you feel like you don't know why you continue to fall back into the same sins and do the same things over and over again, it's because you lack your map. And it goes at levels too. So I let God into my heart and I begin to leave all of this behind. And now when I get tempted by these things again, I think how I was in this circle, how miserable I was every single day, how I didn't want to live anymore because I lived in this little circle. But the more you come out of it, the more you figure out, now it's not just God. Now I got social media. And I got over here. I get to help other people over here. I get to quit my job over here. And I'm just bouncing all around all of these. You continue to go around in different aspects of your life, but you're not trapped in that little circle anymore. And as you walk the path becomes clear. I didn't exactly know how I was going to, get this relationship with Christ, but I did know that's what I was shooting for. So you need to make the conscious decision that you want something in your life. It just has to be something. If you want to be rich, what does a rich person do? He probably doesn't wake up in the middle of the day. He probably works a lot. And he probably figured out a skill that he likes to do, that he can do for long hours. So that's what you need to do. You're not just going to wake up rich one day. You're not just going to wake up with everything you want in your life. You have to do something. You have to put in your work. Because another thing a lot of us get wrong is we think, these rich people out here barely put any work in. I was watching Alex Hormozy, and he said in the past 4 years, he has put out 33,000 pieces of content in 4 years. In the past year for me, I don't even think I've put out 3,000. He's almost 4x'd my volume. So to think that he already made it, he's already at the top, he's already made the millions of dollars, And he's still doing 40 times the work that I'm doing. And I thought I was working hard. That's the type of thing you have to realize is people at the top are at the top for a reason. They didn't wake up there. They put in the work every single day to get there. So when you're figuring out, what you want to do in life, I want you to keep in mind that success leaves clues. So when somebody is successful, they do things that successful people do. And while that sounds like such a dumb statement, it's true. And the most common example I tend to hear is successful people are not indecisive. They don't bounce back and forth about if they should buy this one or if they should buy this one because there's a $50 price difference. They buy the first one, and if it's the wrong decision, then they improve on it next time. But they don't waste time in the middle of these indecisive thoughts. They don't think, should I go for this job or should I go for this job? They just go for the job they want to go to. And if they don't like it, then they go to a new one. You see, a lot of your time gets wasted from indecision. And a lot of my time got wasted from indecision. Should I start a gym page? Or should I start a talking page? Or should I start a comedy page? And what I didn't realize at the time is I was just wasting time. I could have started all three in the same amount it took me to start one. So once you begin to make these decisions, you begin to see this is why successful people do it. Like, you don't become successful and then become decisive. You become decisive and then you become successful. You don't become successful and then become punctual and start getting everywhere on time. You get everywhere on time, and that slowly builds you up to somebody who is successful. You don't make a lot of money and then start doing all of these good things. You do these good things and it leads you to the top of making a lot of money. So I want you to look around at your life and make a plan on the person you want to become. Give yourself a light in your sky. Give yourself a light to get you out of the circle of the despair that you continue to fall back into. Because if you don't have a reason to leave this little circle, you're not going to leave it. And if you don't give yourself one, nobody's coming to tell you what to do. And even if they did, even if they forced you to do something, why would you want to do that? It's not even your decision. It's your life. You get to choose it. Another example was social media. I had to make a decision that I'm going to become a very effective speaker. I'm going to get very good at speaking. And what do you have to do to become a very good speaker? So see, the speaker is right here. I'm still right here. I'm going to become a speaker. So how do I get to that circle? How do I become somebody who's very good at speaking? How can I talk for 9 minutes and 23 seconds without having to look at notes or without having to practice this beforehand? I have to read a lot, obviously. I have to get better at vocabulary. Got to get better at enunciation. Obviously, I have to speak. I speak for about an hour every single day for the past year and 2 months. Every single day. A lot of you guys don't even brush your teeth every single day. I want you to just realize the amount of, effort I've put into this at times. And I'm still not even close to where I want to be. Because like I said, Alex Hormozi is 40x'd what I've done. He's 40x'd what I've done in a year. And he already made it. So that means instead of, roughly an hour every single day, I need to be putting in like 10 hours. But that's the next step. See, now I'm doing the YouTube. Now I'm talking for a lot longer than what I used to do. And now I have to learn how to edit too. And now I have to learn how to promote the YouTube too. And then I have to learn how to get a studio and get a better camera and get better lighting and get better editing. It just keeps on building upon itself, but you have to start. Whatever that is in your life, whether it's the profile, whether it's a business, whether it's something like going to talk to a girl because you want a girlfriend. Maybe your girlfriend is the reason you want to leave the circle. Maybe that's your beacon. Well, what do you have to do to get a girlfriend? You probably got to be somebody that a girl would want to date. You probably can't just lay in your bed all day and be like, nobody's ever going to love me. You got to be somebody that other people can love. You got to be somebody that people want to love. You know what I'm saying? You got to be somebody that somebody would actually want to have a relationship with. What sets you apart from others? What value do you provide? What reasoning would somebody even want to date you? Because you can't just be like, nobody loves me because I was born this way. Then become born again. Like I said in the beginning. So find something to get you out of the circle. Find something for you to shoot for. And though you don't know how you're going to get it yet, the signs will start to appear. It's jump first, and then the net will appear. God bless you all. Thanks if you watched this video this long. And we're going to be posting probably every 2 days now. Let's do every day. every day we're gonna get a YouTube post out because I'm trying to, you know, get that 40X. So God bless once again. Thank you for watching.